So we're starting off strong this evening. We will begin, we're using the Lev Shalem, and we'll start with Yedid Nefesh, which can be found on
page 10.
Page 10. Thank you.
Welcome. Yedid Nefesh Av-Rachaman.
Yedid Nefesh
Av-Rachaman. Meshakav Tach. Eretz Onach. Meshakav Tach. Eretz Onach. Yarutz Tzavnach. Kemaya. Ishtachaveh. Mol Hadarat. Ki Yerav Lo Yedidutach. Mino Betzuv Yarai Yarai Vechotam.
We may understand our days to be a pilgrimage in time, from the 6 days of the work week to the experience of a day of rest, holy time. The generation that left Egypt and wandered in the wilderness never reached their destination, the place of God's rest. But every Friday night, we have the opportunity to make the journey anew, this time with an openness that will enable us to truly enter the land and come close to the divine. So if you're at home and looking at the Sim Shalom, it's on page 15, Lechu Neranana, Lev Shalem, page 11.
Lechu Neranena,
Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yishenu, Nekadma Fanav Etoda. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yishenu,
Bizminot
Naria Lo, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai.
Lechu
Ranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yishenu, Nekadma
Fanav
Toda. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yishenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo, Lechu Neranena,
Lechu Neranena,
Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena,
Lechu Neranena,
Ladonai. Naria, Ki Gadol Adonai Makol Ki Meshur. Asher lo yavasachu asher
Arba'im Shana Akut Benor Ba'omar Anto Elevavim Behem Lo Yadun E'atai Asher Nishbati Be'api Im Yivon Erenuchati.
We turn the page to 13 or 16 in the other for Shir Ladonai, a new song.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash,
Shir Ladonai kol haaretz, Shir Ladonai baruch shemo, pasu miyom le'yom Yeshuato, Sadur v'koyke, Shota, Ki Gadol Adonai, Umulal Me'ahor, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim, Ki Kol Elohei Ha'amim Elilim, V'Adonai Shamayim Asa, Hod V'Hara Lefanav, Oz V'Tiferet V'Mikdasho, Havul Adonai Mishpechot Ami, Havul Adonai Kavod V'Oz, Havul Adonai Kivod Shemo, Seu Mincha, Uvo Lechatzrotav, Ishtachavu L'Adonai B'chatrot Kodesh, Ilo V'Panav Kol Haaretz, Imru V'Goyim Adonai Malach, Tikun Tevel V'Atzimot, Yadinamim B'Mesharim, Yitzmechu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz, Yiram Hayam, Umeloho, Yalo Sarai, V'chol Asher Hu, Aziranu Kol Atzeah, Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Lishpot Haaretz, Yishpot Tevel V'Tzedek, Ve'amim Ve'munatzo, Yalai, 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 We'll turn the page and we'll alternate reading paragraphs on 15 and 16. Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow low before God.
Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult, as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
We need that God should protect the lives of the faithful and save them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine name. So we'll turn to 17 and 18 to sing another song to God, and in the Blue Book, page 18.
Mizmor
Shiru Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot asa, Hoshia lo yamino, oto kodsho, Ani Adonai Yeshuato, le'enei hagoyim gilot tzidkato, Zachar hasto ve'emunato, Israel ra'u kol ha'aretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu hariu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz pitzu eranenu ve'zameru zameru l'Adonai v'chinor ve'kol zimra בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלוכו, צבל ויושביה, נהרות ימתחוך, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיבה, לשפוט ישפוט ובצדק, מעמים במישרי, הלילה לה 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 הלילה לה 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 הלילה לה 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 הלילה לה 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 So on page 20, or the bottom of 19, we'll sing Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'hakadsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'hakadsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'hakadsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. We rise from Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai v'nelim, Havul Adonai, Kavod v'ozayah, Havul Adonai, Kevod shemo yishtachavu Adonai, Mavar kodesh, kol Adonai, Amayim el kavodim, Adonai, Almayim rabim, kol Adonai, ba'koach hayeh, kol Adonai, be'ara, kol Adonai, shover arachim, v'shaver Adonai, et azay halanan, Yarkidem kemo
Egel Aaron V'Sidon Kemo V'Nreimim Kol Adonai V'Tzel Avotesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Kol Adonai Cholel Ayalon V'Yeheso Yeharot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavon Adonai Yishev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Le'amoyitzen Adonai Yevarech et amo v'shalom You may be seated. Shlomo ibn Gabirol, a Spanish poet, a Jewish poet from the 11th century, wrote, "You are the celestial light. Innocent eyes see you, clouds of sin hide you. You are the hidden light of this world revealed in visions seen on God's mountain. You are the eternal light. The mind's eye searches and seeks only an aspect ever seen, never all. So we'll do the first three and the last three, so that's pages 23 and 25 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekamela kadori likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekamela shamo v'zachor v'limor echad hishmihanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shamo Shemon Tiferet Valitila Lecharori Lehikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekamela Kalori Lehikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekamela Likrat Shabbat Lechum Necha Ki Mekor HaBeracha
Lecha Dodi likrat kala
b'nei Shabbat
nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei mitoch ha'chafecha Avlach shevet v'emek Yachamor alayich chemla Lecha Dodi likrat kala
b'nei Shabbat
nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Me'ayu limshisa shosayich Merachaku kol mevalayich Sis alayich velochayich
Kimzos
Katan al kala Lecha Dodi
likrat
kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Yamin u'smol Tifrotzi Ve'atarunai taritzi Ahayarish Ben parzi Ve'nismecha Ve'nagila We rise Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Mo'il shalom Ateret b'olam Gam b'simcha U'b'tzochola Tochem unei Am segula Bo'י chala Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. The song for Shabbat is on page 27 in the red and 23 in the blue.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך העליון, לזמר לשמך העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, הרי עשור מלא
גדול אדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. נגיד ברוך חסדך.
Sarikata Amai
Yifra keherez balon, Yiskesh shetulim, Bebeit Adonai, Bechatzot Eloheinu yafrihu, Od Yerubun Neseva, Deshenim Erananim, Iyanu Lehagid, Ki Yashar Adonai, Tzuri Velo Amratav. The last of the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, page 29.
Adonai Malach
Geut lavish, lavish Adonai otitazar, achikon tevel batimot, nachon kisacha me'az, me'olam mata, nasu ne'arot Adonai, nasehu ne'arot kola, yisu ne'arot tochiam, mikolot ma'im rabim ativrim mishmereyam, adir b'marom Adonai, edotecha nenu me'yon. Levit kanava b'kodesh, Adonai yorech yamim. Mourner's Kaddish, those observing a yahrzeit or in the time of mourning, page 30. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabam, bi'almad yivrach rutei v'yamlech malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'zman kariv yimru Amen. Yehesh shmei Rabam mevorach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei rikudsha brechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbechata v'nachamata, damaran v'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'yimromav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. You may be seated. So I'm thinking about, what Shabbat looks like. And how do we bring Shabbat into different moments of our lives? Last week, I had a little bit of a different Shabbat. My dad had surgery last week. He's doing very well. He got home today. But I flew up to Atlanta and spent Shabbat with him in the hospital room. So I was on a bench that they called a bed. Very comfortable, not at all. The nurses were lovely, though. But there's not a sense of Shabbat in the hospital when people are coming in and coming out and all those things. So I said, how can I celebrate Shabbat? I did something I don't normally do. I took out my iPad. And so Friday night, I watched the service from Bnai Jeshurun in New York City. And it's a synagogue that's been around over 100 years and had seen, a number of years back, it's an urban New York City synagogue, and it wasn't seeing its best days. So they took a chance, and they hired Rabbi Marshall Mayer, and then he had spent a lot of time in Argentina, and he had created the seminario, really. It's named after him these days. And they brought in more Argentinian rabbis, and they brought a different flavor. So on their bima, they had 3 rabbis standing in the middle together, harmonizing. 2 of them are from Argentina. And then on the side, they had a piano and a clarinet, and I think an oud. I'm not 100% sure. There was some kind of, maybe a guitar-type instrument, but not quite a guitar. And they did basically all the same melodies that we do every Friday night. But it sounded very different. And it was interesting and beautiful, and it brought a sense of Shabbat for me into this space that didn't feel like the Shabbat I would have liked to have. And then it was interesting to me as well, and part of why I tried to dance around in Lecha Dodi is it reminded me of as much as some things change, some things stay the same. And 20 years ago, I went to Bnai Jeshurun, and Friday night during Lecha Dodi, a couple verses in, all of a sudden, spontaneously, people dance in a circle around the room, And it's amazing to me that 20 years later, spontaneously, 2 verses in, they all start standing up and circling the room for Lecha Dodi. So when I had a little inspiration there, I thought I'd try. So maybe we want to be dancers, I don't know, we'll see. And then here, this Shabbat, it was so nice to be in my home and to be with our friends together, celebrating Shabbat in this sacred community, in this Kehila Kadosha. And then next Shabbat, I'll be in Jerusalem. And still haven't figured out, I think I know where we're davening Friday night. It's about a mile and a little bit more walk from where we are staying, so I've got to convince the kids that this is going to be fun. Because if I probably should just not tell them, because if I tell them, they're going to complain that we have to walk so far. But if we just go, it is what it is. But it's an egalitarian community where men and women sit together and sing and really joyfully welcome Shabbat. And they don't do it. This particular community doesn't meet every week, but it happens to be next week. And so, Bezrat Hashem, I'll be singing Lecha Dodi with them in the week to come. So I was looking at Lecha Dodi and thinking about Lecha Dodi is a psalm or poem, prayer that has touched me for so many years. And the 3rd verse that we don't always sing, Mikdash Melech Ir Melecha, this holy city, Kumit Se'i Mitocha Hafecha, rise up from the destruction. Rav Lach Shevet B'Yemek Habacha, and the dwelling in the valley of the tears, V'hu Yachamul Alayech Hamla, with God's compassion, you'll be lifted up, you'll be raised. And it was Lecha Dodi last week that lifted my spirit as I'm sitting there listening to the beeps and the IVs and the stupid IV things that every 2 seconds the lines occluded and everything, it brought me Shabbat into the hospital. And then today, with Cantor's lovely voice, singing together and seeing a little bit of dancing, it makes me feel like Shabbat. And God willing, next week in Jerusalem, I will have the peace of Shabbat and show my kids how there are a lot less cars on the road. It's not zero, even Jerusalem has changed. But to have a time where you see people walking down the street and wishing each other Shabbat Shalom and being, in that sacred environment together. So I'll miss you next week, and I hope you will sing Lecha Dodi, and you will think of the rebirth of Jerusalem over the last 100 years, and really since 1967. So we continue with the Baruch Hu with the evening service, and in the Lev Shalem, we'll turn to page 39a, and if you are looking along over here, page 28, we rise for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMelech.
Baruch You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hashem Eloheinu.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdir ben yom leila, Adonai tzivot shema, echai v'kayam, tamidim v'chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamarim hararim.
We continue, page 40.
Avat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah mitzvot, chokim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta. Aken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shogmeinu u'b'komeinu, nasiach mevokecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki he'eloheinu le'orech yameinu, le'orech yameinu, u'mahem neged
Yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla.
V'yavatecha tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kol Zman.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך וביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Amen. V'nakazot v'yaleinu, k'ranefinu v'imtatov, v'nachnu. Enu.
Umakul Tobiratzon Kiblo Alehem.
44.
Moshe u'Miriam u'Bnei Yisrael echadu shira
B'simcha
b'simcha raba v'yamru kulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot asefet Malchutecha ravanecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'eli anu v'yameru,
Teach me, God. Teach me how to deal with people, to show them how to convert the evil within the good. And if human beings are only wild animals, may I be able to turn them toward mildness and humility. At the circus, I saw a man tame a tiger, defang a snake. Would you make me so skilled? Bless me with patience. Make me strong as steel that I might demonstrate to humanity the same such wonders. Shelter us, God, in the shadow of your wings. Watch over and deliver us. Ensure our going and our coming for life and for peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace, your sukkot shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise, page 46, for the Vishamru and the Hatzikadosh. Then we take time for our personal prayer on the pages that follow. If you are in the Sim Shalom, it's page 34, and then the Amidah 35. For us, 46 and 47.
Meshamru
Bnei Yisrael et ha-shabar lasot et ha-shabar ledoratam berit olam. Shameru Bnei Yisrael et ha-shabar lasot et ha-shabar ledoratam berit olam. Bnei Yisrael, oti leolam, v'shameru Bnei Yisrael et ha-shabar lasot et ha-shabar לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים
עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש,
שבת וינפש. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת
לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגלה ויתגלה שמך
אמן.
למען יברא קירותי
וימלך מלכותי
בפייכון
וימלכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב.
ויאמרו
אמן.
יהי
ישמרה במבורך לעולם לעולמי עולמי יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה
בריחו
לילה במקום ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה. Amen. Take time for our personal prayer tonight. When you finish your personal prayer, we turn to Vaychulu, which is on page 53, 47 in the blue.
Elohim hayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishmor hayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayekadesh asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech avotenu Elohei Avraham melech Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah Elion Konei Shamayim Haaretz Magen Avon Min Aron Mechayim Metim B'mamaro Ha'el HaKadosh She'en Kamohu Hameniach Yamo B'yom Shabbat Kadsho Ki Ha'ratza Le'aniach Lahem Ki Ha'ratza Le'aniach Lahem Lefanav Navor Me'irav Afachad Be'neder Yishmo B'chol Yom Tamid Me'on Avrachot Ve'ahodahot Adonai Shalom Mekadesh HaShabbat U'marech Shevi U'meniach B'kedusha Le'amedu Shnei Oneg Zecher L'maseh Bereshit.
We together at the top of the next page. Our God and God of our ancestors, embrace our rest. Make us holy through your mitzvot, and let the Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your deliverance. Purify our hearts to serve you truly. Adonai, our God, lovingly and willingly grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, that the people of Israel who make your name holy may find rest on this day. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Teach God, God, Israel. Amen.
Amen. We sanctify Shabbat by making Kiddush on page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai
We turn to Alinu, page 56 and 57.
Aleinu l'shameach l'adon.